Hey everybody, Stephanie McPhail, Chair and Dream Coach here. I wanted to talk to you guys about the saying that people say all the time, I don't have the time or I don't have the money. It's a topic that seems to come up all the time, whether I'm coaching clients or people that I'm friends with. I always hear people say that. And the interesting thing is that I've been someone who said that too. I've said that I don't have the time or I don't have the money or whatever. And for example, I wanted to read a book and I said I didn't have the time for it. I wanted to start reading some books about topics that I was interested in that would help me with coaching and help me with other things that I'm working on. And I felt like with a new baby and everything else, I didn't have the time. So I started to think about how much time I spent on my phone, checking Facebook, going on the internet, whatever it was. And I made a promise to myself that every time I was going to do that, instead of picking up my cell phone, I was going to pick up a book and read a few pages in those few minutes of downtime that I had. Next thing you knew, I had read 3 books in the span of like 2 months, where I thought I didn't have the time at all. I work with a lot of clients that talk about how they don't have the time to go to the gym. I have a client in particular, she works crazy hours. Just crazy hours. She works sometimes 12 hours a day. And every day is a very different day for her. It's a very different schedule. And in the beginning, she talked about how she didn't have the time. She's a single mom. She has to worry about getting her son to and from practice and everything else. And as she started to work things out, she started to schedule in going to the gym. Someone who didn't have time to go to the gym made sure that she got up an hour earlier to go to the gym because that was the only time that she was going to get it in. The I don't have the money is always an interesting part of that equation as well, because we always seem to have the money for cigarettes, for alcohol, for buying ourselves a little something, maybe some clothing, extra minutes on our phone, on getting online, like anything to do with cable or anything like that. We have money for that. But when it comes to money for maybe taking care of ourselves, when it comes for changing our lives and making our health and our life a priority, we seem to say we don't have the time for it. And it's sad. We don't have the time, we don't have the money. And those really come down to excuses. And I know, people are going to get very upset and feel defensive and say, but I really don't have the time or I really don't have the money. And I understand money is tight. Money is something that is a really big obstacle where people have to try to figure that out. But think about the places where maybe you can spend a little less money. I called up my Cablevision, which is the name of where we get our cable from by me. And next thing you knew, I was paying $80 less than I'd been paying before for something that I barely even use. I hardly ever watch television at all. My phone company, I called them up and lo and behold, I was paying $30 less on my phone bill by the end of the phone call. Those little things add up to really big things. And maybe you don't need to go out to eat. Maybe make pizza at home instead of buying a pizza out. Or those little things can add up to really big things when you're really looking to make changes and you're really looking to save money or whatever it is that you are trying to work on. But just keep in mind, those excuses will not move you forward. Those excuses are what's holding you back. Stop the excuses. This is your chance to start making whatever changes you need to make your life better. What better time than now to make the changes? Too old, too young, bad relationship, this and that. Whatever the excuse is, you will find it if you're not really willing to make that change. Where there's a will, there's a way. Make it happen. Don't forget that you have the ability to make whatever changes you need. And if you need help in making those changes, that's what I'm here for. I know how hard it is, but I know you can do it. So stop making excuses. You do have the time. The money may be hard to figure it out, but where there's a will, there's always a way. And always remember, you are way stronger than you realize.